Then we'll just move directly into our last presentation from Dr. Yazoume Ye to discuss activities to harmonize information systems in Madagascar.
Good afternoon. It's difficult to be the last presenter on the third day of a conference, so I hope I'll keep you awake. I want to discuss here some of the support that we are providing to Madagascar. This is in line with the whole measure evaluation project, which has for objective to strengthen information system and provide information to be used to inform program implementation for decision making. So in line with that, we are supporting Madagascar. Big. This one. So very quickly, I'm going to give you a background, then talk about the integrated system. And as you see from most of the previous presentation, all these have to fit within a framework of an integrated system. So you have an integrated HMIS, but at the same time, you also have the integrated disease surveillance system. And then you have to have a specific surveillance system which fits malaria. So that became a very complex system to fit into this overall already complex system. So how do we navigate around that based on the current landscape in Madagascar specifically, which I will be talking about very soon. Then I will talk also about the disease surveillance system, which also from some of the country you have a different system already in place, not necessarily talking to each other. How do you make sure that these systems talk to each other, and we have it within the integrated system, but at the same time respond to specific disease needs. Particularly when you're talking about the integrated disease system, it has to take into consideration all the potential notifiable disease. I think Madagascar is about 19. Malaria is part of them. So how do you really put up a system, especially when it's the country where you also have transmission, which is not homogeneous throughout the country. So each setting may require a different approach and different mechanism. And then I will touch a bit on the integrated platform, how we foresee it, and some of the support that we are progressing. So this is a work in progress. We are designing now the strategy to support the country. So very quick overview on the background. So as you can see on the map there from the Malaria Trust Project, the country, the transmission is not similar throughout the country. So some part of the country actually have very low transmission, and some are epidemic prone. And the previous National Malaria Control Strategic Plan actually design the strategy based on that, looking at area with still under control, area under consolidation, and then you have area with low transmission, then you have the area with the potential of having some epidemic. So this has to fit into all new surveillance system that is going to be put in place. Then at the same time, the platform, which is actually the HMIS, is also a bit fragmented, and I will touch base on that. But right now, they're really undergoing a process of making sure that they bring all this together into an integrated system. But as the country is thinking of moving toward the elimination strategy, there's a need to see how this integrated system can support this new strategy. So a quick overview of the strategic plan which the country put in place to come up with an integrated HMIS. As you can see, the key element here first is to make sure that there's a kind of coordination between all the key players, and that's very fundamental in most of the country. There's a lack of coordination. And the second thing is to make sure that there is actually a reference indicator document. So you have to come up with an indicator document that takes into consideration all the program specific need, and which sometimes become very complex as you go into trimming down the number of indicators to sort of make a system more efficient to follow them. And if you, at the same time, you need to take into consideration all the other program needs, then you end up with, again, a large number of indicators which need to be taken into consideration. And for Madagascar, I think after trimming everything down, they still end up with an indicator reference document of almost about 350 indicators, which are supposed to be really the key indicators, taking into consideration all the other program needs. Then there's the need also to harmonize the data collection and process tool. So this is also one of the key objectives, making sure that there's maybe one uniform process which is really taking into consideration all the different program needs. And then, of course, last but not the least, which is actually the most important, is to make sure that the information which is going to go through the integrated system is accessible for all the different program and are put in use to inform program implementation. Now, if you look at the landscape here, that's the current landscape. Some of these systems are still under development, but what we found that you got what you call the GSIS, gestion du système d'information sanitaire, but this one at the community level, and then you got another one at the health facility level. But then on top of that, you have the one which actually managing the human resources, and then you have one which are managing infrastructure and material. But then you have commodity, which is separate. But then in parallel, you got another one which is now looking at the integrated disease surveillance system. So all these elements are all fragmented and are not necessarily talking to each other. So if you have different reporting coming from this different system, it's become very complex. And as we're talking about sort of strong surveillance system, it's not only, and it has been mentioned by previous, not only actually detecting the case, but to make sure that you got all the commodity, you got all the infrastructure, the skill in place to actually respond to the needs in increase of different cases. So then down there, you still have which are not necessary system, but are also different database. And those database, some of them we pick information from app and manipulate them. Then you have different information throughout. So this really puts a very serious concern into the whole landscape of integrated system. If you look at going from this system now to a reporting system, this is a specific example actually where I just only highlighted malaria here. So you got here the reporting system which go through the HMIS. Basically, you have a focal point at the district level, you have a focal point at a regional level, and the information will have to come from the facility level. So the information coming at the facility level will go to the focal point, which is HMIS focal point, but at the same time share now with a malaria focal point at the district level. Then the information go up in a separate, parallelly. So what's going to happen is that if you have any issue and there is a feedback for a correction or for some number to be adjusted, then this system is lost. You're going to have different number reported by malaria compared to what you have in the normal HMIS reporting system. And this is something that we have noticed when we look at the National Malaria Control Program database, we call GMP, and then the all HMIS data through the GSIS. So some of those key challenges with what we actually just highlighted in the system, you see the different parallel system will result in this issue on data quality. Name them, you got the completeness, you got timeliness, you got accuracy, and any other elements of data quality. There were no proper data quality control mechanism in place. I mean, there are a number of things, but not really very functional, and that's very fundamental if you need to have all these integrated systems. And the reason being that you have so many fragmented system reporting different things, yet they should be talking to each other. So it's difficult to put in place or develop a standard procedure which actually fits all these different systems. And then the supervision is also very limited because it's not integrated. So each system will probably have their own mechanism of checking the data quality throughout at the facility level. Then, of course, the data use is the key element. Once you have data which doesn't necessarily respond to need, that leads to challenges in data needs and data use. And we have seen that in the assessment we have done. Now, talking specifically about the disease surveillance system here, in Madagascar, we have the Sentinel surveillance site, which is basically run by Institut Pasteur, and have a very strong system, very effective, and reporting and feedback system working perfectly. It should be noted that it's the surveillance system of fever, so malaria will be part of it, not specifically focused on malaria. Now, if you look at the integrated disease surveillance system, which cover the whole country, all the facility, will as well include the Sentinel surveillance site. So if you have a different reporting system in both, then you're going to end up with sort of maybe double counting here, or in some case, discrepancies in reporting between the two systems. Now, the good thing is that the integrated disease system surveillance basically has a very robust case definition, which basically is the same used by Institut Pasteur, the parallel one, but also used. So these information are basically available at the health facility level, which is actually the foundation, and that's what's very interesting to find at the facility level. You can have this information, and most of the health workers do have a good understanding of how this case definition works. So this is just the board with all the different case definition. We just pop up the case for malaria. Now, in terms of a reporting system for the integrated disease surveillance system, what you see here, it's still paper-based, but you have the mobile phone reporting mechanism as well. But when all these two are reported, they come at a district level, the information is keyed into the computer manually. So this causes a problem in data transfer issue, data keying error that can definitely result into discrepancy between what you get from the facility and what you have in the database. But now, in terms of a mobile reporting system, there is a part of a country which is supported by WHO, and there they have a very robust system of SMS reporting, where with a very clear template where you can send information it goes. Other districts, they do SMS reporting system, but they don't have a clear template. So if you see here the screen, it's just up to you to decide. You put a number, and then you have a heartbreak, you put a different number at heartbreak, and so on. So there's no really a clear a template, very clear cut how which information goes where. So that's up now of a focal point at the district level to make sure that he pick up the right data and put it into the database there. So you see all the potential of wrong reporting. The reporting system also for the surveillance system is basically the same in terms of parallel reporting system, which will definitely lead to different discrepancy, where you got the malaria focal points, and that's similar. That's similar for other disease, and then you got the HRS, the integrated disease surveillance and response focal point. So this parallel reporting system will definitely lead to an issue. In terms of weekly, that's how it's supposed to be, but the weekly reporting doesn't necessarily happen because of delay. Sometimes maybe the health worker is supposed to transfer the data, there's no internet connection, he doesn't have airtime to send information through his mobile system, then you've got a very a delay. So when you're talking about a strong disease surveillance system, particularly in parts of a country where you need immediate response, it becomes a big challenge here. The Institut Pasteur, they have a very strong system, and this is one, actually that's the courtesy of children who presented there, and it's a very robust system which is based on the mobile reporting, which the information will be is sent from the health facility straight to a server, and then this information is analyzed and a feedback sent immediately, and that's done really daily. So with that, it's very easy to get feedback and get an alert when we have a sudden increase in cases or new cases, which is go beyond unexpected case, and then they actually model that, compute that into the system, and then send the feedback. So this is actually a very robust system. The goods, an important thing here is really the feedback, that the information is fed back immediately after the information is treated. Then the information, the feedback, the output is sent back to the facility. So that's help to see which kind of action need to be taken. So this is a robust system, but then this work in parallel with the normal the integrated disease surveillance system. So some of the challenge that we are highlighting here is that, I mean, you got some automated reporting system which is done by the Institut Pasteur, but then when you go into the integrated disease surveillance system, you have a very issue where you basically don't have a regular surveillance, reporting system. You don't have regular supervisory visits to make sure that the information is validated before it goes up. And these are some of the challenges which we report highlighting here in comparison with a very robust system which is set parallel in the country, but these two systems don't talk to each other and they don't actually help improve the other system. Quickly touching into data use, as you can see here, so what we did, we went to all the different facilities in the country, and we sort of asked whether they're using information which come from the integrated disease surveillance system. And if you look at here, for most of them, there's still a gap in use, where you have really very low proportion who actually are discussing first the data and are using this data to inform any surveillance work. And that's very critical. Are we moving into to a stronger surveillance system? They need to be addressed. So the idea is now to come with a very integrated system which we cover all the different databases, but they have not yet moved into DHIS2, and this is the next step which they need to do. That's the direction they're going. But first, you have existing data. You need to find a way to actually migrate them into a system where they talk to each other, where you don't have a different parallel system. So, and the program should be able to access the information through one portal point. So the idea is really to bring all these databases into one portal point. Any information that specific program we need, we have to come straight from the portal point, but not going to all the individual system up there. That's where you avoid a deep discrepancy in data. So using first the data which is there, but now going forward, there should be a mechanism of really having health facility reporting straight to a central database, and that's sort of related to DHIS2, the cloud. That was mentioned in the case of Zimbabwe. So that's where we actually are working toward supporting the country. So as a measure evaluation, we set up this strategy where we see there's a need really to make sure that we have a proper approach in supporting the system based on the HMIS integration strategy that they put in place. There is a need to have a strong surveillance system. Surveillance for malaria become an intervention, but at the same time, it has to fit into an existing framework, an integrated framework. So how to make the best use and to set up a strategy that will respond to that needs. It's something which should be country specific. There is maybe a general framework, but within the country context has to be taken into consideration. So we set up this different level of strategic approach. We will soon start work there, and we see probably next year we should be able to come and show some specific results where we got into this approach. So where are we? The first thing, we have conducted that comprehensive, and that comprehensive report is available online. Now the strategy, we have put together a strategy to support the country. Now we are in the process of starting the work, so probably by end of this year, and as I say, next year we might have some results to present here. So I don't want to end this presentation without saying very thank to all these people on the list here, from the Ministry of Health, from PMI Madagascar, we have also from IDS Institute, and then we have Oslo University, and the measure evaluation team and my colleague here. Thank you.